apparently J.J. Abrams pitched in on Reylo. Let's take a look. Alright, here it is, the article from Bounding to Comics. Thank you guys once again. J.J. Abrams on relationship between Rey and Kylo Ren. There's as much of a brother and sister thing as there is romantic. So I've been saying to people for a long time that it might not be that they have this sensual relationship. You know, it could be that they're finding brother and sister feelings and not realizing it because they have no way to know. Now, we know that's not the case, but that's what it could have been. And the writing is so disjointed and made up as they go along, who knows? While answering questions from fans at a recent Q&A session, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams commented on the relationship between Rey and Kylo Ren and stated that their connection was originally developed as one of siblings rather than romantic or sexual partners. In a video taken at the Q&A, Abrams can be seen and heard responding to a fan. So, I'm not going to let the sound run on this video because it's a little low. I'm going to read what he says. But basically, if you guys take a look at this girl here, I just want you to note that this is the type of Star Wars fan I think that they are going for with this new trilogy. I don't think that they were going for the fans like me who have loved it for 35 years and wanted to see an honorable, respectful continuation of the characters. They were going for fans like this girl who was in awe of J.J. Abrams talking about Reylo. I'm gonna let the video run for a second just so you could see like her interest level, her face, stuff like that. So you could see as she's talking to him, she's really like into what he's saying. She's really honed in, eye to eye. She's so interested and so focused on finding out this relationship between Rey and Kylo. She looks at her mother, she's smiling, you know, and people like me and maybe you are sitting there like, oh, this is like a little odd for Star Wars that all these fans like so into Reylo and this relationship, and it just doesn't feel like it should have quite so much attention. It feels like it's becoming the story, and there is no great story. So here's exactly what he says. There's as much of a brother and sister thing with Rey and Kylo Ren as there is romantic, so it's not literally and sexually romantic kind of thing. It's more like they're just bound together in this crazy spiritual way. Again, felt romantic to me. Well, crazy spiritual way, guys. What the hell? We're going to write Star Wars, and here's the explanation. It's a crazy spiritual way. You know, sign the autograph, shut up, take the picture, let's see what the box office does, and move on. Don't worry about creating good stories, good lore, things that make sense. What the hell, it's just Star Wars. This is what they're thinking. He then goes on to say, it's like if you're listening to the John Williams when he first wrote the Luke theme. It was a romantic theme for Luke and Leia. That was kind of what he was thinking because he didn't know where it was going. Well, sure, maybe George Lucas didn't know exactly where everything was going, but that was when he was in the process of creating this masterpiece, this legend, and he's the creator, so he gets that leeway. And again, this is the first shot, so, you know, Star Wars came out with like one little mistake. Yes, Luke kisses Leia, but then again, they didn't actually know they were brother and sister, so yeah, they might have shared a kiss. I know, maybe a little bit of an excuse, but I think it's pretty reasonable. Then they go on here to mention about how Rey is a Palpatine, what that could possibly mean. The idea that Kylo Ren and Rey had a familial bond rather than a romantic one is further supported in current Star Wars canon by Marvel's Star Wars comics. In Darth Vader 25, Anakin Skywalker sees a Force vision revealing that Emperor Palpatine manipulated the Force to induce a virgin pregnancy in Shmi Skywalker. If this moment is to be considered canon, this would imply that Rey, being the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine, would be Kylo Ren's aunt. You know, so they had this thing out there, but now they kind of have to say maybe this isn't canon. You know, it's really a mess with what's canon and what isn't. It would have been nice if they just respected Lucas's material and followed some kind of guidelines that were set down. I'm not saying in the process they couldn't have been creative, had a lot of their own plot twists, new things, stuff like that, but it would have been good to have some kind of real continuity with 1 through 6. This guy, Matt Martin, says, it's part of my job to ensure the stories are aligned with the overall vision of Star Wars. If the intention was to make a direct connection between Palpatine and Anakin's birth, I would have had it removed. But this was written before the Rey and Kylo thing was decided, and I honestly don't think that they had this in mind. They were going to do what they were going to feel like doing with Rey and Kylo anyway, regardless of what's in any book or any source material, because I think they're just using those to sell, basically. They're not using those to really honestly expand on the lore, because I don't think there's a lot of investment in Lucasfilms. What I hear is they're pretty split down the middle as far as investment in loving the original lore, but I'm going to have to think a lot of them just don't care in the same way that the girl we saw doesn't care about the legacy of Anakin and Luke. She cares about Rey and Kylo. Will they kiss? What does it mean? Blah, blah, blah. You know, that's not really what this saga is about. That's just some odd thing shoehorned in the end. Pablo Hidalgo, who I think has blocked me on Twitter, says that he's not sure why this was being treated as groundbreaking. I don't know, man. It's a pretty big deal. First of all, one of the biggest mysteries of the entire saga is who is Anakin's father. So I'm thinking that offering an explanation for that is pretty interesting, pretty groundbreaking. Alright, I'm going to link this one below. I didn't read the full article. If you guys are interested, definitely check it out. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. Gonna give a big shout out to Shellback TJC. He dropped in my live, giving me some good support. Much appreciated. Gonna give another big shout out to 19K Fox. He also gave me some great support. And if you're passing by here, smash that subscribe button, click it, press it, whatever you gotta do, get subscribed. I'm nice, I'm funny, I mess up, and sometimes I keep it in the video, and that's it. There's a mess up. And no one complains when I mess up. Yeah, thankful for that. See you next time.